Hello, I'm Enzo, and today I'll be playing TerraTech. In this episode of TerraTech Builds, I'll be going over the Siren Destroyer from Azure Lane. I know it looks a little bit derpy, especially the whole conning tower smokestack here, but I tried my best to recreate from... This time I actually used a reference photo instead of just going off the little icons in the game. Let's start out with weaponry. These are two dual-purpose guns. For this ship, I actually originally planned to use these Hawkeye HG-1 cannon turrets, but my issue with these is they rotate so incredibly slow. These rotate instantly, so it's kind of hard not to use these, especially considering the pure power difference. I have tried to make a Siren Destroyer before. It didn't turn out that well. My main issue was trying to figure out what I use as what would be torpedoes. At first, I was using these Hawkeye BMBs. Normally, I would try to use the cruise missiles, but there's an issue with that. Say if you place the cruise missile down here, it would probably fall to the ground before it actually launches. What the cruise missiles like to do is they have a small period before they go full speed and home in to the enemy. They launch up and then go, or launch to the side, then go. I had to find a solution to this, and my solution comes from another mod. These main guns are from the Naval Guns mod. These are new guns. I've had this mod for a long time, but I've never really used it, mostly because these guns are so incredibly broken. These are C322S hull-mounted chain guns from the Nova Arsenal mod. Now, the reason these are so special is because the type I'm using, if you see it right there are 3 different types of rounds. HE, which is high explosive, dealing a lot of area of effect damage. AP, armor piercing, which is great at breaking through armor. And SP, shield piercing. It's very interesting because shields are pretty much your greatest enemy in this game. They're incredibly tough to break and can give your tech a crazy amount of survivability. What happens if you have a round that can shoot straight through the shield? These are very devastating guns, is what happens. I know I have 12, and that makes it a little bit crazier, but I think it pretty well balances it. Considering a destroyer is supposed to be able to delete targets almost instantly with torpedoes, I think it's pretty well balanced. Besides the weaponry, this is pretty standard new ship design. I used the same armor layout as Purifier. This ship has incredibly thick armor and has the armor plating go down one by one like this. It's so that I could also make it tall so I could store more stuff in there. You have the outriggers to proper scale, if you can see that. And here we have a bunch of gyroscopes and adjustment thrusters so we can move left to right. Although it's a little derpy when we try to move left and right. Back here we have some GeoCorp jet engines, my favorite propulsion. And besides that, it's pretty standard build. Down here we have a crazy amount of hover pads. These are used to keep it floating, with some anti-grav in the middle to help it stay afloat. When any of these get damaged, the destroyer goes down pretty much instantly. But I think that's a pretty good balance considering how powerful this small ship is. Speaking of balance, like I said earlier, my whole goal was to make this thing incredibly well armored. Well, as much as possible for this ship size. And I'd say I did a pretty good job. There's armor plating all over the ship. I use fort and spike armor all around it to help disperse shells, which makes you take less damage. It's incredibly nice. So let's start with the teardown. Where do I even begin? Let's start at the bow here. The gun has its own mount of 2 of these Hawkeye 6 blocks. They're incredibly hard to destroy, giving this gun a lot of survivability, including when we have the repair and shield bubbles on. It gives it some more armor. I know those aren't placed the best, but I tried. It helps at least a little bit with, shells not breaking right in and destroying all of our batteries down there. Beneath the first gun, you won't really find anything too special. 1 layer of armor right underneath the deck. That's standard for this ship. And we actually have a bunch of shield bubbles down here. These are all the crazy projectors. That's why we have all those weird shapes here, just to help ensure the survivability of the bow and the main gun. because this gets destroyed really quickly, I've learned. Below that, well, there's not much. We're gonna have to start digging into the armor from below here. Just armor plates, anti-gravity, nothing too crazy special. We can see the batteries there. There's a crazy amount of armor plating on each side so that nothing can explode and damage the batteries inside. Once you get past this layer though, you do get batteries. There's one little bit of armor protecting the batteries from the bow so that they have a slightly higher chance of not exploding. This almost entire segment is batteries. I wanted this thing to stay powered for as long as physically possible. I did a pretty good job. Below these, batteries. Batteries, batteries. I did them in this order because it was a 3 slot and I didn't just want to use the Hawkeye batteries. I wanted some Geocorps in there too. If I look at it now, I know I could probably use the Mega Gluten batteries and they don't explode, but I wasn't thinking about that. When you tear away the batteries, it's just more batteries. Up to a certain point. This little box looking thing here, that's where the propulsion is. I plated this very well so that we still have a chance of moving. Above that, you can see some of the gyroscopes and some anti-grav. And above those blocks, might be a little hard to see, there's a bunch of our control systems like cabs and radar and power meter, all the good stuff. That's just one of the locations. In my new techs, I always have multiple locations for my control systems, just to ensure some more survivability. The outriggers. These are done pretty interestingly. I put one extra layer of armor plating on the outside, although if you take all the armor off it will break easily. Unfortunately, these are all mounted on that plate of armor, so some explosions can actually break these off, I've learned. Probably not my best idea ever. But yeah, it's all your thrusters, your gyroscopes. There's a repair and shield bubble in here too. Back here, we have another gun. Inside that, well, kind of same deal. There's only one layer of armor below the deck, just like in the front, but that's when we get straight to the jet engines. And yeah, nothing special there. We have 6 jet engines in total. That's just what I managed to fit in there. Unfortunately, this destroyer doesn't go insanely fast. It's not very maneuverable, but it deals considerate damage, so it's kind of balanced. After you break away just one armor plate and one 6 block, you get the batteries. You can also see the giant gyroscopes down there. This is a huge room of batteries. I believe it's right here. Yep, just a giant room of batteries. That's it. Like I said, I wanted to put as many batteries in here as possible. However, above that, it's incredibly well armor plated, just so that we can put some more cabs inside. Yep, there's one. That's actually not a main cab, that's an AI cab, and I'll show that off later. Up here, this is supposed to look like a smokestack. I put those on there so I could control everything. But yeah, that's pretty much the teardown of the tech. The last thing is these. This is just a huge chunk of armor I added for some reason. It's not like it connects it. If you shoot this section off, the outrigger goes off completely. It has nothing but this hole and one small plating of armor holding it together. Before I go any further, this is the other Siren destroyer design I made. This one was completely focused on guns. It did have the BMBs as missiles, but that never worked out. And the major issue with this, besides the ugly design, it goes very fast. However, yeah, it tilts up like that. And I didn't really want that. Doesn't turn well, doesn't really do anything well. It's extremely easy to destroy too, so it was a great first attempt, but definitely needs something better. Movement-wise, this thing isn't very capable, like I was saying. 56 miles an hour is our top speed. Slow compared to the 70 miles an hour we're getting earlier from the other destroyer, and I believe it might even be slower than Purifier, which is a bit of an issue. Destroyers are supposed to be fast and maneuverable, but I guess this one has high firepower, so it kind of makes up for it. Besides that, turning is slow and painful. Even if I do my system where I hold both the strafe and the turn, it's still pretty slow. And we actually have it set to hovercraft. That's for a very special reason. I had one other idea in mind while I was trying to design these things. They're destroyers. They're supposed to be in fleets together. There's supposed to be a bunch of them hunting the same target. So I was thinking, why not make the destroyers small and give them AI? It was a horrible idea. The AI doesn't know how to steer this. Generally, they will ram straight into each other. Still pretty interesting to see. I'll be playing with this more later on. So far in this series, I've pretty much made the turret run our standard for testing. So I thought, why not? Let's continue with it. First major issue is you'll notice we're tilting up slightly. That's pretty much unavoidable, sadly. You can see though, we decimate everything in our path. Well, kind of. You can't get too close. It's a ship, it's up high, you can't hit small targets. This is built to destroy large targets. Now, the shield-piercing rounds don't target enemies far away. The naval guns can, but yeah, it's run different mods, so it has different targeting. There is a mod I could install to help with targeting, but you have to download stuff that's not from the Steam Workshop for that. I might try it one day, but not yet. Besides that, we kind of just run. We have to stop every so often to destroy these, but it seems like we're destroying them from really far away if we angle properly. It's actually mostly the main gun taking care of everything, not our... We'll call them torpedo guns for now. So down, get the target, and it's destroyed instantly. We're even destroying that target from really far away, just because the firing range of the main gun. Little bit crazy. Oh yeah, we also haven't taken much damage. I kind of forgot about that. I don't think... yeah, everything seems to be intact. The repair and shield bubbles on this thing are pretty crazy, as always. And is the last... nope, they just get destroyed instantly. Well, that was easy. I guess the destroyer truly lives up to its name. I truly don't think we've taken any damage. We would have seen it for sure. The bow is completely intact. That was a really good run. Awesome. For this fight, I decided to use our main destroyer and put it against the old destroyer. I kind of wanted to see what would happen. Major issue is this has no AI, so we're going to set that to the enemy. I want to see how the friendly AI does against defending. Alright, let's see how it does. It doesn't look like it's doing anything. Kind of just rammed into each other and... alright, I guess I have to be close enough. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Alright, I guess it looks like our AI is not the brightest. I think we need a land vehicle for this to work. Or I could just go ahead and swap in. They've made a terrible mistake, turning broadside. Might be good for them, but that means I can hit more of my torpedo guns. Our main guns are causing those really cool firework explosions. They're wreaking havoc. But as you can see, our shield-piercing guns are going to town. That's the pure power of shield piercing right there. Because the shields block 99% of the projectiles. They can't block explosions, that's why you get explosive damage everywhere. But if you can go straight through shields, you will decimate attack in seconds. Like what happened there. And damage-wise? Yeah, we took some when it rammed us, but I think that's it. It didn't get a chance to fire anything. Plus, those guns aren't that powerful, so they didn't really have much of a chance either way. Just thought it'd be cool to see what would happen. This Purifier matchup is actually one of the first ones I tested, just to see how well it would work. It's interesting. I put both facing each other just to see what would really happen if they were both at full firepower. So let's figure it out. I'm scared because it can go either way. This tech can annihilate Purifier, or Purifier can annihilate us. Well, we took out one of Purifier's main guns. That's a great sign. We're not looking too bad. Our shield piercing should still be firing away. You just can't see it because it happens too quickly. We need to get at a better angle. Our shield piercing only fires straight. Oh, Purifier is a really bad angle. I might reset because this isn't really fair. I get it, it's the playing field we're on, but still. I have a great angle for destroying Purifier right now. They're actually still dealing damage. Oh. Seems like it stopped. I'm gonna stop the battle and reposition. I also want to check out the damage we've done. Well, first of all, what's happened to us? Well, a cab is still intact. I don't know if we've lost a stabilizer, one of the stabilizing computers, or not. Feels like we have. Yeah, because we're moving forward. That's crazy. We're still alive after all of that. Taking direct fire from Purifier and living through it. Pretty interesting. But what happened to Purifier is a little more interesting. If we can get unstuck. Wow. You'll notice instantly the shield piercing has eaten directly into Purifier's batteries. The rear batteries are still intact. The rear are usually actually the first ones to go. So the front batteries being destroyed first is odd. The bow is completely annihilated. The main gun was severed almost instantly. It's still moving. It has no stabilization in there. Yeah, it's carnage. It still could go either way for this matchup, though. We still have all of our shield piercing intact, because that's kind of what happens. Purifier still has two main guns and the cruiser gun left. But I don't know how long Purifier is going to last with this much damage. I assume the batteries are all going to go, and then the cab's going to be one shot. Still though, we could get one shot just as easily. Like I said, it can go either way. Let's figure it out. Which way will it go? I want to position properly so I can get into the line of fire. Yeah, that was a lot of damage. Oh, I think we lost. They're still both alive somehow. I want to see if... Oh, it's idle. Uh-oh. That could go bad. Well, technically, since we died, yeah, that's a loss. Alright. I did win this matchup one time, but I guess it's extremely circumstantial. You have to be at a good angle. Purifier can't hit you with all three of her guns instantly. Still, very cool matchup. I have to be fair. Purifier is the single most powerful tech I've created in this game ever. Nothing compares. Not the hovering carrier, nothing. So considering a small destroyer could deal this much damage, I'm impressed. There's one last thing I wanted to test with the Pawn Destroyer. Its anti-air capabilities. I know for a fact it's actually really powerful. Those dual-purpose guns are nothing to laugh at. The BMB missiles are good at close range, but they're a bit slow. So good at slower flying techs, but not fast ones like this Super Hornet. I used to have Venture missile launchers on it instead of BMBs. The Venture missile launchers deal way less damage, but fire missiles insanely rapidly, And the missiles go faster than 200 miles an hour, meaning very few planes can outrun them. They'll slowly break your shields, and once they hit your missiles, you're dead. So easier to maneuver around the shots than I expected. But if you go in, well, that wasn't really going in. I'm pretty sure if you go in for an angle of attack, you can get hit easily. I guess not. This aircraft's probably just too fast. Currently, we're strictly testing anti-air. I do plan to destroy it with an aircraft, but not yet. This is our jet. Oh. Okay. This is the Striker 1 Mark II jet engine version. It's an incredibly beefy tech if you have shields on it. If you don't, you just get one shot if you're not careful like that. Now, it could just be the fact that the jet engine is a very large tech, or it's not fast enough. But it was faster than the... oh. Yeah, it must just be it is a large tech. Well, the Striker 1 Mark II is very slow. We took a beating from that. I won't fire yet. We'll do that later. But you can definitely see it's hard to outrun anti-air with slower techs. And these aren't even proper anti-air, they're just dual purpose. I'll be honest, I was kind of messing around with the last few ones. I wanted to get hit by the anti-air. Now we're gonna be serious. If you're truly a smart tech, you'll stay far away from the anti-air. Alright, I guess I'm not that smart. They've targeted me. Their missiles won't do anything. I'm not truly concerned about their guns. Maybe I should be. I have to get a lot better evading. If you go straight in for an attack like that, or where you try to dive bomb, they're very likely to hit you, so you gotta be careful. You have to just strike, you know, the name of my planes. Strike, get out of there quickly, try to dodge anti-air. Oh, I went for a dive there. That cost me. However, this is an incredibly beefy plane, so I think we'll be fine. At least until we run out of battery, which shouldn't be for a while. Anyways, though, missiles aren't crazy effective at destroying techs. They're just good at breaking the deck and making it look not so good. I'll check my damage in a second. It's kind of just... uh-oh. Alright, we got hit quite a bit there, actually. I should be more careful. It's just too much fun. Let's inspect the damage. Whoa. We're gonna be barfing up the five-way things, the adjustment thrusters. Oh, yep, we're barfing up a lot of them. There's broken blocks everywhere here, so I guess I did more damage than I'd expected. Seems like we tore a hole right there. Those B&Bs are intact somehow. Oh, those are. So the guns are still intact, the armor isn't. Well, actually most of the armor is. The outriggers are easily damaged, so that makes sense. That's damaged. The repair bubble must have been damaged for that one, because there's supposed to be one there, I think. Unless I'm just bad and it's not fully covered. Alright, we have a job to finish though. Let's finish this tech. Wonder if I just like strike from high enough, they'll never target me. Yeah, but where's the fun in that? When you can get shot at by anti-air. It's a lot more fun. Don't want to get too close. Anti-air does hurt, especially if you're a weaker tech. But that was it, I guess. So yeah, destroyers aren't the best against planes. At least most of them aren't. But my next planned Siren ship type is a light cruiser, which will specialize in anti-air. It'll be pretty cool. I might even use the reticle research anti-airs. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making this tech. It was extremely complicated, but it's very fun, powerful tech. I'll leave the link to the Steam workshop for it in the description, as usual. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. This is going to be Enzo from LookIntoGaming, signing out.